Hello and welcome to Big Awkward Games unboxing video for the Commander 2015 Plunder the Graves deck. My name is Simon. I'll be unboxing this today. So this one's called Plunder the Graves. It's black and green. This is part of the Commander 2015 cycle, which are the enemy colour cycles. So all the pairs are enemy colours. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up and then just have a quick look through some of the new unique cards. So you get an oversized copy of the new Commander, Mirren of Clan Naltoth. So each Commander deck comes with a new legendary creature as your commander. You get an oversized version, useful for denoting sort of where your command zone is. And you'll get a normal version inside as well. So let's open this up and go through. Just quickly show you. I'm not going to open this out because I haven't got enough room to show you the entire thing, but you get a guide here for explaining sort of how the deck works and ideas for how to use it and improve it. And you also get in here a quick rules reference which is stuck at the bottom, and then you get a nice sort of plastic case in there just for keeping your deck in for a while. And then we're on to the actual deck. So this is all shrink wrap sealed as usual, so let's just break into this plastic prison. So I'm not going to go through every single card, there's a lot of reprints in here. And again, there's just so many cards to go through. I'm not going to sit here for 3 hours and explain each one, so let's just go through. You've got the double-sided tokens, which are pretty cool, so Jam and Zombie. You've got a nice token for denoting where the new experience counters you get go, because they carry across. And you get lots of tokens to explain what you need. And then we're on to the creatures of the deck. So being black-green, this has got a little bit of ramp in it. It's primarily green, secondary black, with a little bit of multicoloured in here. And so the theme of the deck is sort of to do with a little bit of ramping, but also to do with sacrificing and killing creatures, that sort of, dealing with death sort of thing. One of the new cards we have, if I remember right, is Skullwinder. 3 mana, 1/3, Death Touch, and when it enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, choose an opponent, and that player returns a card from their graveyard to the hand. So because of the low mana cost, you are helping out an opponent at the same time, but you get a card back. Who can complain of that? Banshee the Dread Choir, Myriad. So this is one of the new abilities. So the way this works, whenever this creature attacks for each opponent other than the defending player, you may put a token that's a copy of this creature onto the battlefield tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control, and then exile them at the end of combat. And her ability is whenever she deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. So imagine if you're playing this in a 5-player game, you're getting 4 copies of her, you could be making everyone discard a card that turn. This is going to create some interesting rules interactions from people, but still nonetheless, cool ability in the Myriad. So yeah, just keep going through. Thief of Blood. As it enters the battlefield, remove all counters from all permanents. It then enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each counter removed this way. Again, can be useful for just controlling the situation. Another Myriad one, this is an 8/6 Trample. Nice and simple. But then imagine swinging with an 8/6 trample against everyone on the table. Oof, that's just mean. You're going to be a big target after that. So, Tribute to the Wild. So there's a lot of really cool cards in here, especially things like Mulch and stuff. We have the Commander, Mirren of Clan Naltoth. So, legendary creature, it's a human shaman. Whenever another creature you control dies, you get an experience counter, so all of the 5 new commanders deal with the experience counters. At the beginning of your end step, choose a target creature card in your graveyard. If that card's converted mana cost is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield, otherwise put it into your hand. So that's very nice. You're getting cards back into your hand, and then later on when you've had a few experience counters, you're going to start getting creatures back into play. This deck has quite a low curve. There's not many very expensive cards in there. It sort of tops out at 4 and 5 really. So it's going to be easy to be reanimating a lot of your creatures with this. Very cool. This is a legendary creature, Insect Shaman. Mazarek Kroll Death Priest. Flying, and whenever a player sacrifices another permanent, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. And there are sacrifice outlets in this deck, so you're going to be pumping that quite quickly. Drowsy Monument, one of my favourites. Central Vine Crash is pretty cool. Enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the number of land cards in all graveyards, and whenever a land card is put into a graveyard, you may pay 2 green to return him from the graveyard to your hand. So this can be useful because in Commander, quite a lot of players end up playing what they call fetch lands, or lands that have to be sacrificed to do an effect. So this can end up getting quite big and quite powerful. Devour. Nice one. Pathbreaker Ibex. When it attacks, creatures you control gain trample, get +X until end of turn, and X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So the green in here really is just providing the big stompy creatures, whereas the black is allowing you to control the game up until that point. We have another zombie dragon, the Scourge of Neltoth. You're flying 6/6 because it's a dragon flying, of course. You may cast it from your graveyard by paying 2 black and then sacrificing 2 creatures rather than paying its mana cost. So even if it's been discarded, you can still play this boy. Richie Confluence. There is a cycle of confluences, 1 in each deck. Choose 3. You may choose the same one more than once. Target player draws a card and loses a life. Target creature gets -2/-2 till end of turn, and return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So you could give a creature -6/-6. You could draw yourself 3 cards and lose 3 life, or make another player, maybe your opponent's, one of your allies is milling out an opponent. You can help along with that plan. There's lots of things you can do with that, and as it's instant speed, it's quite cool. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to go through every single card in here because there are a lot of cards. And we don't want to bore you to death. But suffice to say, there's lots of big stompy creatures and lots of black to help you get to that stage whilst also beating your opponent. And then we're just on to the lands, lots of basic swamps and forests. We saw earlier you've got one of the cities. I think it was hiding back here. You've got Grim Backwoods, which allows you to sacrifice a creature to draw a card, and High Market, which lets you sacrifice a creature to gain a life. Like I said, lots of ways to sacrifice creatures. Vivid Marsh, Command Tower, you can add 1 mana to your mana pool equal to your commander, very useful. Again, lots of the Golgari stuff, and yeah, there you have it. There's a very quick overview of the new Plunder the Graves deck. As I said during the video, the aim of this one is to play your big creatures to hopefully win you the game, or win by just sheer volume of little creatures that you keep reanimating using Merrin's ability. There are sacrifice outlets to help your creatures die if your opponent isn't being obliging and killing them for you. So you can get the experience counters on them and then bring them back, which is just so mean to do. So there's going to be some nice combinations with some of the sacrificing cards in there, which allow you to gain benefits. Sacrifice them at the end of the turn, bring it back. Do it all over again. So yeah, this looks like it could be quite a fun deck to play. Use the black early game to help you sort of control the board and keep yourself going and stop your opponents and getting too much of an advantage, and then late game play your big stompy creatures or reanimate your black army and sweep through your opponents. There we go, that's a quick view of Plunder the Graves. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Remember, every card you've seen on here can be bought and sold on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll also be unboxing the rest of Commander 2015, so I hope I'll see you there. Bye.